book lovers, it is G-Swizz here, and I am here today with my birthday book haul. And I am willing to accept that I have a problem. So I may have hauled over 50 books after hauling 50 books before. So I know for a fact that this will not be my last haul of the year, but this will hopefully be my second last. And the reason why I'm saying this is because November, for a lot of retailers, is a deal month. Then after Christmas, we have Boxing Day. So yeah, that's great. November is not great for my bank account at all, but hey, I'm a consumer. I'm willing to accept that I do have a problem. I'm willing to accept that I am planning to read all these books. I am preparing for all the stupid comments being like,
you're never gonna get to all the books in your hauls and stuff.
You know what? How many books have you read in a year? Have you checked my Goodreads challenge? Just saying. Now that we got that salt out of the way, let's get into this sweet book haul. Some of these were purchased for me for my birthday. Some of these were purchased with birthday gift cards / birthday money. That's why I'm calling it my birthday book haul. I'm just going to go through all the books that I bought / received since the last haul. So the first things that I'm going to haul today were given to me by Hannah over at the channel Hannah Books and Other Things, and I'm so thankful. She gave this to me in exchange for me making her introduction for her channel. And let's be real, if I was going to make someone's channel introduction, I would only really require one book as a payment, but she gave me 3. Oh man, she is so generous. Thank you so much, Hannah. 2 out of the 3 books that she gave me were the 2 bind-ups of the Orange series. You guys have no idea how excited I am to read these. I hear nothing but great things about this manga series, and I want to get into manga in a way, although it's like a very expensive hobby. At least if I was to buy manga, I would need more shelf space. You already know your girl struggles with that. But thankfully, this manga series is on the shorter side, and it will be easy for me to read. I'm pretty sure this series is about a girl who encounters her future self or past self. I'm not sure if her future self or her past self communicates with the other self. I do know that it has something to do with that. I definitely also want to watch the anime at one point, or the movie, whatever it is. I never usually watch anime, so I'm willing to give it a try. Thanks, Hannah! And of course, I have to say thanks to Hannah again because she got me the US edition of one of my favorite books of all time, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Now, let's be real, I do prefer the UK hardback. That one is stunning, but I still absolutely adore this cover. I'm still trash for it. I still think that it is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that I have the US edition of one of my favorite books of all time. Hannah, you are the best. You know me very well. I love you. So I found out that Bloomsbury UK were doing a second printing of the special edition Song Rising hardback. I had to buy it, but I had to make sure that I got books 1 and 2 first. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty funny situation because the Bone Season UK hardback is still in print, but the Mime Order UK paperback is not in print at all anymore. I had to purchase it secondhand. It's funny because it has like this huge dent here, but I don't mind because at least it's a hardback. Pretty sure I would never really risk purchasing a secondhand paperback online, but when it comes to secondhand hardbacks, I am fine with it, unless of course it says that there's no dust jacket, then I won't really give it a chance. I'm happy that it came with a dust jacket, and I'm happy that I have the first 3 books in these hardbacks. I just want you guys to know that the next 12 books I'm going to be showing you are all bargain books. Every single one of these 12 books I paid $7 or less for. The first book out of the bargain book pile that I have to show you is Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. I have read this book and I had to purchase a physical copy because I loved this book. And if you're wondering, it is a YA contemporary, but it's kind of a very dark YA contemporary in a way. It has to do with a young mom who gave 3 of her children up for adoption. It follows all of her 3 kids at a teenage age. They all went their separate ways, and then all of a sudden they find each other. It's funny because like contemporary isn't even my favorite genre, but I really want to reread this one at one point because oh my goodness, I laughed, I cried, I sobbed. It was so hard-hitting. I definitely think that Robin Benway is an amazing writer. I loved all the characters and the stories in this book. This is becoming a wrap-up. I need to stop it right now, but yeah, I really do want to reread this, and I'm so happy that I have a physical copy and I got it for super cheap. The next book I bought for a bargain price was The Dazzling Heights by Catherine McGee. This is the sequel to The 1000th Floor. I got this book for super cheap. It's such a bonus because The 1000th Floor was already on my TBR, and The Towering Sky, which is the 3rd book, came out. I'm excited for this binge. And the next book I got at a bargain price was Invictus by Ryan Groudon. I have a friend that keeps on nagging me about reading this. I think it needs to happen. I am not gonna lie though, I'm pretty skeptical because everybody keeps on saying it's like Firefly meets Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, I'm up for the Guardians of the Galaxy part, but I'm very skeptical. That's a lot to live up to. I'm very nervous about going into this, but hey, I got it at a bargain price, so I thought it's not gonna hurt my bank account that much, but the rest of the books did. This next bargain book is a book that just came out, but it's a bargain book because it's damaged. And that, my friends, is The Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. There were a few damaged copies there. I wanted to make sure that mine didn't have too much damage to it or like too much evident damage. So that's why I chose one with damage on the back. I don't mind because I got it for super cheap. And it's a new release as well. I've just been hearing a lot of great things about this one. This next bargain book was an absolute steal. I'm so happy it was in the bargain bookstore and it was just the one copy. And I'm so happy I got that one copy. That, my friends, is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. Now, all I know is that this book is a classic and it is thick with 2 C's. But what I also know is that it is the favorite classic of a few of my close bookish friends. And so that's why I have it. Don't pressure me to read it straight away because it is thick. I do want to definitely get to it. And I have this stunning Bloomsbury Classics edition that's like limited. I'm not mad at all. And the next absolute bargain that I have to mention in this haul today is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is the hardback edition. The reason why I think it was bargained is because it's like slightly damaged. Yeah, I got it for $7. And these hardbacks usually retail for $30 here. I'm not mad. And I've heard a lot of good things about this series. And again, it's an ongoing series and it's meant to be a 7-book series, but we're only up to book 3. And let's be real, Scott Lynch is probably never gonna finish the series. So what did I get myself into? I have absolutely no idea. Why G-Swizz? And these next 3 books I'm gonna show you in this haul are potentially gonna make some people facepalm, which is understandable. But hey, I bought them. Deal with it. That's a great way to introduce these books. These 3 books right here. I've got The Stone Key by N.K. Jemisin, which is the 3rd book in the 5th season series. And then I've also got books 5 and 6 in The Expanse. So a lot of you guys are gonna be asking,
G-Swizz, you don't have some of the previous books in the series, but you skipped ahead and you purchased these books.
Yeah, my answer to that is because they were super cheap. So for some of you guys who don't know, I don't have book 4 in the Expanse series yet. But it is actually on its way to me, and I also got that for bargain price. That one was like under $10. So yeah, that one is still getting delivered to me from the Book Depository. I'm catching up. The Expanse books were just super cheap. I have not paid full price for an Expanse book. I've made sure I've either purchased them on sale or on clearance and bargain price. So there's that. Whereas with the 5th season series, the first 2 books are also on its way to me, actually with the 4th Expanse book. And I purchased them at a cheap price as well. But I saw this in a bargain bookstore for like $7. I had to make sure I purchased it at that price before they were gone. I'm a bargain hunter, okay? It's what I do. And another absolute bargain I have to mention today is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. And yes, I've read Norse mythology by Neil Gaiman, and I loved his take on Norse mythology. It was so good, and so I just decided I needed to get to another Neil Gaiman book, and I saw this one at the bargain bookstore, and I was like, you know what? This usually retails for like $26. I don't even need to explain this anymore. I just bought it because of that. The second last bargain book I have to show you out of the stack is this book called Oh Yeah, Audrey by Tucker Shaw. And if you're wondering, I didn't just purchase this one because of the cover. I think it has to do with somebody who absolutely loves Audrey Hepburn. Oh, and I also purchased this because somebody talked about it on their booktube channel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what played a big part of me purchasing this. And the final book out of the bargain book stack that was an absolute bargain, as well as the fact that this book is out of print, or at least this edition of the book is out of print. My love, Lady Taylor, has a book called Lips Touched 3 Times, and I have the UK hardback that is out of print. And even though I do prefer the US hardback cover, I am still so happy that I got this at such a cheap price. And not only that, this book is out of print. This is the second out of print edition of a Lady Taylor book that I have. I'm just so happy about this. And I'm really excited to read it as well. There are some illustrations done by her husband too. Amazing, so grim, so dark. Oh, and so comical too. These next 6 books that I'm just about to haul are books that were given to me from my amazing bookish group chat friends for my birthday. So what we do in our bookish group chat is that we give our wish list in like our birthday months, and each of the people in the group chat get a book off of the wish list that you give them. And they blessed me this month, and I'm honestly so grateful about this. And this is just half the books from the group chat, but I'm just so thankful that I have these ones now. First of all, let's go for the obvious one. It's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets 20th anniversary edition. I'm so happy I have this. This was given to me from my friend Alison. Alison, you're amazing. Thank you so much for getting this for me. Yes, I do have the Philosopher's Stone, and I honestly don't know why I was just not bothered to grab this one. Then all of a sudden I just forgot about it, and I just decided to put it on my wish list, and then boom, I got it for my birthday. And it's the Gryffindor edition because I'm Gryffindor. And no, if you're wondering, it's not because I'm a bandwagoner. It's because I'm actually Gryffindor. Seriously, I'm so tired of people telling me that I'm a bandwagoner just because I'm Gryffindor. I was sorted. I was sorted. The next book I received was Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller. Now I can binge read the series, and I was given this by Sass. And the funny thing is, I actually gave Sass Daughter of the Pirate King for her birthday. So the fact that she returned the favor by giving me Daughter of the Siren Queen was amazing. So thank you so much, Sass. I cannot wait to binge read this series because I've heard nothing but great things about it. And the next birthday gift I received was City of Ghosts by by Victoria Schwab. This was given to me by Kaz. Yes, that's right, little book owl Kaz. Oh, I'm so happy it's Schwab. So yeah, that pretty much explains everything, and it is the first book in a middle grade Schwab series. Sign me up. I'm there. Thank you so much, Kaz, for getting me this book. I am so grateful to you. And the next book I received for my birthday was Final Draft by Riley Redgate. I was given this from my friend Chent. Chent, you are amazing. I've wanted to read this book for a pretty long time now. And no, I can't really say that I'm a writer, although this is the first time I'm going to mention on my channel. I'm low-key participating in NaNoWriMo this year. And I've tried not to tell people because I don't want to be pressured into writing 50,000 words. It was literally a last-minute decision. Yeah, I'm attempting to write 10,000 words this month, so at least I'm learning to write something. I've wanted to give Riley Redgate a try at some point, and I figured that this would be a great way to start. I put it on my wish list and I received it, so thank you so much, Chen, for delivering on that front. You are amazing. And a never anticipated book that I had received was The Wicked and the Divine Volume 5. I wanted to start reading Volume 4, but I was so scared that I would run out of volumes, and I honestly don't know why I've been falling behind on collecting these as well. I think it's because the series is pretty expensive to collect. That's why I just put off purchasing the volumes for such a very long time. Oh yeah, and I pretty much purchased like all 4 volumes at the same time, and then I just stopped purchasing them. Then all of a sudden my friend Claire over at the channel Claire Buys Books, you guys need to go check her out. She is amazing. She purchased this for me for my birthday. Thank you so much for giving me such an amazing gift. I am so grateful. And the final out of the 6 books that I have received from that group chat so far is The Con Artist by Fred Van Lente. I'm really excited for this book. It's funny because like I'm not really into murder mysteries, but get this is a murder mystery that takes place at Comic-Con, or like a con like Comic-Con. That is what sold me on this, because there's going to be a lot of cosplayers that are involved in this book, and as you can see from the cover, you can see that. That is why I was just really excited and really sold on it. My friend Sam gave this to me. Sam, you're amazing. I love this. Really excited for this book. You guys have no idea. Like, my fangirl heart is leaping out of my chest. These next 2 books were purchased for 2 reasons. Number 1, I actually need to get to them and I need to finish this trilogy. The second reason is that I was meeting the author for the second time and I wanted to get these 2 books signed. Those 2 books are Lyriel and A Portion by Garth Nix. If you're wondering, Garth Nix is an Australian gem. He did the Australian National Reading Hour event in Sydney, and so I decided I was going to go to that, and the books that I'm going to be purchasing are going to be the 2 books in the A Portion trilogy that I have not yet read. I got them signed by him. It says, "To Grace with best wishes." I loved Sabriel, so I cannot wait to see what happens in the continuation of the series. And the next book I purchased was a comic book, and that is Skyward, not by Brandon Sanderson. No, Brandon Sanderson is coming out with a book called Skyward as well. How funny is that? But this is a new Image comic book series. Honestly, I was really sold on it because the first line in the synopsis is awesome. One day, gravity on Earth suddenly became a fraction of what it is now. I was sold, so I had to have it. And also, this is a limited edition Kinokuniya cover. As much as I like the other cover, I think that this cover looks really cool as well. And another comic book that I have to hold today is The Defenders Volume 1 Diamonds Are Forever. I am just obsessed with Marvel Netflix lately. Literally in this past month, I binge watched every single Daredevil episode, and I also binge watched The Punisher, and I am obsessed with Marvel Netflix, and I am so mad and so bitter that Luke Cage and Iron Fist have been cancelled. It looks like Marvel Netflix is dying. And even though a lot of people don't like these shows anymore, I am obsessed with them, and this year I've actually gotten more attached to the Marvel Netflix shows than I have with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is so weird to me that it's such a foreign concept to me, because I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I've just been so attached to the Netflix universe recently. I feel like Daredevil season 3 was one of the best TV seasons of all time. Anyway, sorry, I'm gushing about it too much, but yeah, I love the Defenders. I love these characters. Saw it for like 13 bucks, and that's very rare for a comic book, because let's be real, comic books are usually like at least 25 bucks here in Australia. That's why I had to jump on the chance to get it at a super cheap price, and it was the only clearance copy. I couldn't pass that up. So my new favorite literary fiction author, although I've actually only read 1 book by them, G-Swizzel. Why? The 1 book that I read from them left a very long-lasting impression on me. Therefore, they are one of my favorite literary fiction authors of all time. They released a book this month, and I had to purchase it because I am trash already. That is how much that book had an impact on me. Oh my goodness. And the book that they published this month was Killing Commendator. And yes, it is by Haruki Murakami. And no, I didn't just have to buy it because of the aesthetics, because the aesthetics are pretty. This hardback will probably be out of print sometime in the near future, because that's what happens to Haruki Murakami's hardbacks eventually, because every UK book, or at least vintage book from him, actually eventually becomes a matching edition, and I think that that's really cool. But I felt like I just needed to get this because I owed it to Haruki Murakami, because I love Haruki Murakami. But also I wanted to get this edition of this book from a favorite author of mine. Yes, that's right, he's a favorite author of mine, and I've only read one book by him. Wow, this is weird. That's so rare for me. It's so rare for me to say something like that about an author, but Norwegian Wood was so good. Okay, no, I need to read more from him before I can say stuff like that. G-Swizz, how dare you? I'm really excited to get to this one, and yes, it is very thick, but I am willing to commit. Not gonna lie, I don't think that this is gonna be the next book I read from him, not because it's thick, but because I want to read more of his previous work before I can read more of his modern works. Apparently he's turning 70 this year, and he's still writing. I am just so amazed by that. Another 2 books I had to purchase with birthday money were some poetry collections by Atticus. I just purchased them because I needed more modern poetry to read, although I still have a few on my modern poetry TBR. I also sold them for super cheap. So usually these go at around $30. I ended up getting them each for $20. The Dark Between the Stars is his latest one, and this one, Love Her Wild, came out last year. So I'm really excited to get to these ones and read them. And the next book I got this month was Defy the Worlds by Claudia Gray, and this is just such a beautiful cover. I've mentioned this on my channel before. G-Swizz, you need to stop talking about the covers and actually start talking about the books. Wow, that's controversial. Maybe I'm just saying stuff about that because there are some people that are picking on me and saying that I'm a booktuber of no substance. Whoo, tea spilled. Okay, wow. G-Swizz, that was not expected. I need to stop. I have no chill whatsoever. Yes, I do love this cover. I will mention that. But this is the sequel to Claudia Gray's Defy the Stars trilogy, and I got it for a really good price. I put it off buying it for so long because I saw it so expensive everywhere. I am not the biggest fan of this series, but I want to give it a second chance. The reason why I'm willing to give it a second chance is because the first time I read it, I had just came out of heartbreak, and it was the first romance that I read since then, and I was not feeling it at all. I was not interested in it, and I wish that event did not cloud my judgment on the book. I was rolling my eyes at the romance the whole time because of that. That's why I'm willing to give it a second try. It's not just because of the beautiful covers, but also Claudia Gray has impressed me before. If you're wondering, I absolutely loved the Firebird trilogy by Claudia Gray, and it is a very underrated trilogy in my opinion, and so that's why I want to give her a second chance. By actually rereading Defy the Stars, I won't actually go straight into this book. I will actually reread Defy the Stars because I want to give her that second chance, and hopefully before then I won't get heartbroken again. I can't get over the fact that I was just savage a second ago. So the next book I received within this period of time was a book that I got from the YA Chronicles September box. If you have not yet received your YA Chronicles September box, I'm pretty sure everybody has by now. If you're spoiled, then yeah, that's your choice. The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve April 10 I can't say her name right. The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Ticholke. That was a mouthful. This is a Beowulf retelling. I'm pretty sure it's a female-centric one. That's all I really know about this. I didn't buy it because of the cover. I bought it because it was a YA Chronicles book. I need to stop justifying myself. G-Swizz, stop justifying yourself. You are a booktuber and you're passionate about books. You can talk about whatever the frick you want, including the covers. Wow, I needed a moment to reassure myself. I'm talking to myself in front of the camera. I actually needed to hear that, and I said it to myself. I need help, but at the same time I'm helping myself. I'm gonna move on. The next book I bought this month is a book that I bought for super cheap because again, I'm a bargain hunter, and that, my friends, is The Caged Queen by Kristen Cicerelli. If you guys don't know, this is the sequel to The Last Namsara. I read The Last Namsara, I enjoyed it. I am curious to see where this goes next. I did like the story, I loved the plot, I loved the world building. I wasn't a big fan of the romance though. So I'm hoping that this book doesn't have a really cringeworthy romance. I'm just saying. And the next book I purchased this month is a contemporary that is told in verse that has to do with the asexual spectrum. I felt like I needed it in my life, and so I'm really excited to get to this one. It is Vanilla by Billy Merrill. This is eye candy. I will mention that. I didn't just buy it because it was eye candy. Like I said, it's a novel told in verse about asexuality and your girl on the spectrum. So I'm just really excited to get to this one. I want more of this representation in YA. Oh, look how convenient it is that the next book I'm going to be talking about also has an ace main character. Finally received my pre-order from Booktopia a month later. If you are wondering, I do not recommend Booktopia for pre-orders. $3. I would for the pricing. I mean, the pricing's really cool. The Booktopia headquarters, like in Sydney, is literally 2 suburbs away from me. So once I usually place an order with them, I receive the book within a day or 2. I mean, that's cool. But they're really bad with pre-orders, especially with hardback editions or like US editions. They say that it's available and they say that it is published, but they never receive the books on time. If you like having your books come in on time, I would not recommend Booktopia. At the time that I pre-ordered this book, the Book Depository did have it for more expensive, so that's why I did pre-order it from Booktopia, but still, never again. And number 2 books that came in the mail this month, that is a duology. Is the Valkyrie duology by Amanda Hawking, which consists of Between the Blade and the Heart and Between the Earth and the Shadows. I absolutely love these covers and I had to get them, and also their floppy paperbacks, and it's a duology, so it's gonna be easy to read. But not only that, it has to do with Valkyries. I mean, like, it's the Valkyrie duology. That is a new buzzword of mine, and so that is why I'm really excited to get to the series. Oh yes, how could I forget about a Never Booktopia pre-order that came in late? Yeah, at least I have it though. It's Six of Crows, the collector's edition by Leigh Bardugo, and it has the beautiful red edges. The fact that I have this special edition needs to give me incentive to reread the series, because I've forgotten almost everything about this series except for like a big event that happens in Crooked Kingdom that a lot of people know about. Oh wow, we're matching today. Yeah, stranger things have happened. Hey, but and yes, of course, I do remember a fair bit about the characters, but I don't remember the plot. That's why I want to buckle down. I want to reread it before King of Scars comes out, because like, as much as I do love Leigh Bardugo and the Grisha trilogy, I do love this world, but it never sticks with me. Like, everything that happens, I eventually forget about. I want to change that. I want to reread the series, so I'm caught up and I'll just enjoy King of Scars with everybody else. The next book I purchased for 2 reasons. Number 1, it was in the bargain section on the Book Depository, and number 2, I have a friend, Sophia from Sophia Casanova. Hey, what's up, girl? She loved this book. I remember her talking about it on Twitter nonstop. I don't think she knows that I purchased this book, but hey girl, I purchased this book because I've been hearing you talk about it. My friends is Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is the first book in the Greenbone saga. She was gushing about this book and she was raving about it, and I remember how devastated she was that this book was over for her. I wouldn't feel that way. I mean, I don't want to feel the after book hangover feels, because, you know, like, let's be real, those feels aren't that great. But of course I want to be captivated by a book, and she recommends this one so much. Apparently it has to do with some sort of Asian mythology and jade stone. You know what? I kind of somewhat do know the premise. I've heard this book explained to me a lot. I just don't feel like I can synopsize it for myself. It was Sophia's recommendation and I trust her. I trust her judgment, and she says that it has amazing Asian rep. Sign me up, I'm there. So the next book I have to show you guys is an arc, a very chunky arc, an arc that a lot of people were stopped at the airport for just simply carrying in their luggage. I'm so blessed that I have a friend that gave me this arc. I haven't even read a book from this author, but I wanted this arc. I want to read this book. I'm very fascinated in the hype of this book and just fascinated in its concept. And that, my friends, is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. It is massive. This is a fantasy standalone that took Samantha Shannon years to write. If it took her years to write, she deserves people to read it. I definitely do want to get to it, and the fact that I have an arc just makes me feel so honored. I'm just excited to start reading Samantha Shannon because I know that she's an amazing person. I will owe her my time by reading this book and by reading the Bone Season series. I'm just hoping that I love them both. I have friends that absolutely adore her book series, even adore Priory, so that's why I need to get to it. Oh, a book that I forgot to mention with the series that it goes with is The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky by Mackenzie Lee. So this novella was given to me by a friend. I have it and I think that it's really exciting, so I need to get to this. Yeah, apparently it's pretty, you know, steamy. So let's see how this demisexual survives the steam. Guys, we only have 1 more stack to go. So the next books I have to hold today are the Australian hardback editions of Nevermore and Wondersmith, which are the first 2 books in the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. She is an amazing Australian sensation. I still have the receipt from this one. This is signed and personalized. This one says, "To Grace, stay wondrous." This is like the second one. Why didn't I go for the first one first? I don't even know. And this one says, "To Grace, step boldly." I am so happy I have these editions. I do have the paperback of Nevermore, but the hardback got published 2 months after the paperback. When I found out these were going to be an Australian thing, I had to purchase them. Nevermore was a really cool book, so like, why not, right? Just when you thought that signed editions of those books are pretty exciting, I found a never signed edition of a book I was meaning to buy for a very long time, and I'm so happy that I put off buying the hardback, because as much as I could have pre-ordered the hardback was pretty expensive, and this hardback, yes, of course, it was pretty expensive. I didn't buy it at a bargain price, but this made the expense worth it because it's a signed copy, and that, my friends, friends is Map of Days. This is the first book in the continuation trilogy of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I am so happy to have this. Instead of a signature here, we have a little emblem on here, so it feels very weird not to have a signature on the front cover, but I'm still really excited because even though I don't have a signature on the front cover, I have a signature in here. That is enough for me. Never Thick book that I got this month isn't really signed. Oh, maybe actually no, the hardback is signed. I don't know. It's up for interpretation. It's Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I mean, this is what I'm talking about right here. So technically we have a bit of a signature going on there, but it's not physically signed. I received this in the YA Chronicles subscription service box of Kingdom of Ash. I also have the paperback, but my paperback is stacked underneath the other paperbacks because that's what I have to do because limited shelf space. And of course I'm not bothered to get the other edition, so here's this edition. And everybody and their mother is talking about this in the booktube community, so yeah, I don't really need to talk about this one anymore. Although I read it and I felt a lot. And again, speaking of the YA Chronicles, I received their Vicious/Vengeful box this month, and I got the UK collector's editions of both of these books, and I'm really excited to get to Vengeful. I have not read Vengeful as I'm filming this video, but I have read Vicious. I had fallen in love with Victoria Schwab's writing again. That's why I'm really excited to get to Vengeful, and I'm so happy I have these editions. And of course, speaking of Vengeful, I'm trash for Schwab, and okay. You know what's dangerous? Book Depository. Book Depository is very dangerous, especially when they're just like,
Hey Grace, we miss you. You haven't made an order with us for a while, so we're gonna give you a 10% off voucher for your wish list.
I'm a victim of that email. You know what I decided to do? I decided to use that 10% coupon on a bunch of expensive books. So I kind of went on a bit of a spree and I got some US editions of Victoria Schwab's books. No, the Vicious hardback is not here. Sold out. And I'm waiting for Tor to do another printing of it because it's sold out everywhere. But yes, if you're wondering, that I have the US hardback of Vengeful, and it is beautiful, it is stunning. But have I read the book yet? No, I have 2 editions of a book that I have not yet read. That hurt, but I deserve it. But you know what books I have read? I've read this trilogy. The purchase was worth it. One of my favorite trilogies of all time, the Darker Shade of Magic series by Victoria Schwab. The covers are beautiful. And yes, of course, now I just need the Barnes & Noble edition of A Darker Shade of Magic. Then I would have all the US hardback editions. G-Swizzel don't get any ideas. Yes, I repurchased this trilogy in US hardback because I love this trilogy. Each book was like $30 to $35 each, but I had to. And if you're wondering, those weren't the only books that I got with that voucher. I have 2 more books that I got with that voucher. And those are 2 special edition books from another author that I absolutely love. I had to get these books. Now, the first book is one of my favorite books ever, and I'm so happy that I purchased it in this edition because it is stunning and because it's one of my favorite books of all time and I want it to last for a very long time. And that, my friends, is the 10th anniversary edition of The Book Thief. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. It's a deluxe edition and I'm in love with it. I do not regret this purchase one bit. And when I saw it on the Book Depository website, I knew I had to get the matching edition of Bridge of Clay. This book just came out. The Australian editions don't really look that great, but then when I saw this one, I saw how beautiful it was and how awesome it is that the fact that these match, I fell in love with it straight away. And guys, don't worry, we've reached the end. I have one more book. It's this one of the best books ever to have been written. Yes, I have the rare Red Sprayed Edge edition and I am proud of it. And yes, if you're wondering, we've already done our Biblio Squad live show for this. We had an amazing discussion about it. I am in love with the series. I just love the characters in the series. I love the world that the series takes place in. Laini Taylor just killed it with the series. It is glorious and I highly recommend the series if you haven't picked it up yet. So I guess that's gonna be it for this haul today, book lovers, and I know a lot of you guys might be thinking,
Oh my goodness, thank God.
I know. I made a lot of people cringe today. Then there are some of the people that are fine with hauls. Those people, I made this for you. If you want to purchase any of the books that I mentioned in this video today, all the Book Depository purchase links will be down in the comments because this is a book haul and because my description can only take so many characters. I will put all the Book Depository purchase links in a pinned comment so you can check them out if you want to purchase them and if you want to help me out by doing so. And I also have social medias. I'm at G-Swizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also at Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/G-Swizzel. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.